what I'm going to go over today is how to make an assignment in Schoology. So this is from one of my course pages, and you can see I have all my stuff right here. I even have some folders and stuff where I keep assignments. One of the things I will say when you're organizing is folders make things wonderful. So you'll select whatever folder you want this to go into. I'm going to do, you know what, nature biology. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to add assignment while this loads. Waiting forever. Alright, so here what we have is the assignment name. And then, so what you're going to do first, you're going to give your assignment a name. It doesn't matter, I'm just going to call it test. You can give it a description if you want. If you write I've never given a description, but you could depending on what you're doing. And then, depending on how you grade it, like, is it a numeric grade? Is it just, is it you're grading off rubric? How are you grading it? Here, you can set the number of points the assignment's going to be worth. I know a lot of people who grade off of just everything's out of 100%. I grade off of points because then I can weight certain assignments. So I'm going to say that this one is 50 points. Okay? And then what category you want it to go into depends on the categories you set up. If you leave it ungraded, that's usually there as a default. You'll see that ungraded will not show up in your gradebook. So if you leave it ungraded, just know that when you go look in your gradebook, it won't be there. I set up assessment and formative because that's the two categories we have in our gradebook is assessment or formative. I'm going to make this a formative. I'm going to put it in the 6 weeks just because that was already there, but you could trade it however you wanted. You can also set it to no grading period. And then we'll go ahead and say a lot of the settings and stuff in here are just the way it's set up because of the school I'm at. So that was already set up for me. Go in here for what day is it going to be due. Today is the 5th, so I'm going to say it's due on the 9th. Okay? Students need to turn it in by the 9th, and then they'll see it in their upcoming and all this. Now, if you want to do this, if you have linked sections or anything, you can select, like maybe you just want your first period to do this and not your 5th and 6th. Okay? So you can select just one, or maybe you're giving them different due dates, like first period's due on the 9th, and then everyone else is due on the 10th. If, for example, I'm on block schedule, so that works out really well for me. Now, I've had people ask, well, what do you do if you don't want them to be able to turn it in after a certain period of time? So like for late work and stuff, you can click on this little thing right here, lock. This, it defaults to unlock, so students can submit an assignment at any point, as long as they can find it. If you want to lock at a certain time, you're going to say, I'm not going to take it after this date. You can choose to lock it at that time. So I'm going to say, I'm going to lock it on the 13th. And then you have to give it a time too, but when you give it a time, whatever time, maybe you don't want it due after class. They have to turn it in before the end of class on the 13th. So you could say, 10:30 or whatever time. That says 12:30, 10:30, or whatever time class ends. And then you go ahead and create your assignment. And that will show up, you can see right here, my little assignment. Click on it, and then what students would see is right here, there would be a button that says Submit Assignment, and they can click on that to make submissions. Now, for their submission, they can actually use several different formats. They can submit a file, so if they've typed something up, they can submit the file. They can submit pictures to you. They can submit all sorts of files. There's also the option where they can create their submission. They can actually type up in Schoology. Mine don't generally do that for a whole lot because of formatting issues and stuff, and it just isn't as user-friendly, but it is an option. All right, so let's say you were on the course page. This is what they say when they go to the assignment. You'll see over here where it says upcoming. You can drop that down, and then you'll see your students wouldn't see this on here twice, but I gave them 2 different due dates, so I see both of them. But you can see they have this here, and this would be under upcoming. There's also this calendar that's there, and that shows, all of them kind of in a calendar, which, I mean, for teaching your students, what do you call it? Time management, that would be a great tool. I've never used it. I don't know how many of my students have, but it's there as an option. But your students will see it here. Now, what you would normally see when you click on this, the teacher would see all the assignments here that have been submitted, and then you can click on them, and then you can see the actual submission. They can make more than one submission, so they can submit the same thing. Or if they submit something and they need to fix it, they can make another submission. You can see all their submissions. Let's say they have more than one picture and they don't remember to upload them all at once. They can make multiple submissions, and you can see all of their submissions. And it's really user-friendly, and you can grade from the screen. They also have the ability for you to download something, make comments on it, and then resubmit it to the students. I haven't done that as much. It's kind of hard, and not a lot of my students actually take the time to go read those comments, but they have that option in there. So I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask in the comments.